Hello and welcome back to The Movies Made Us Do It. Me and Matt are back. How are you, Matt?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I am well. This is a rare episode, Matt.
Oh, yeah?
It's a rare episode because
Why is that?
Not only have I watched 3 movies, not my usual 2, I have watched 3, but it's also 3 movies that you have also watched. So...
Okay.
We actually have actual discussion on this show this week for once.
This might be a short episode.
And do you know, if I had the no, I think it's going to be longer as a result actually. But if I had the time, I would have watched all 4 actually, because the one I didn't choose, I was tempted to watch. So yeah. Go on.
Should we start with Apex then?
You know I've seen Apex because
because you sent me a text about Apex, and I actually read what you put when.
What did you think I said?
I thought you meant about his acting.
Oh no, I meant about him obviously going to die.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it yet, so I.
Shit! Sorry, I assumed you'd seen it.
And I thought, that's a shame because I really like Eric Bana. And then when I watched it, I was like, "Oh no, he meant it's telegraphed."
I meant he is the deadest man who ever lived. Like the opening of that movie, I'm like, he's dead. Like you remember when we watched War Machine, and we were like, Reacher's brother is dead. This was even worse. This was this man is doomed.
I mean, the dude's practically dragging his coffin behind him. He's
yeah.
Even his dialogue is like, "I'm too old. I don't want to do this anymore.
My luck's run out." And then he's like, "Oh, my lucky compass. I think my luck's run out of my lucky compass." And she gets the lucky compass and throws it away. She's like, "Oh, this stupid thing." I'm like, "Okay, he's dead. We get it. You've killed him." I mean, it was above even cliffhanger levels of telegraphed.
But that's kind of what this movie does all the way through. It telegraphs everything.
It does until it has a weird, like, I mean, how much to spoil of this movie? I didn't have cannibal on my list of bingo cards for this movie.
I did.
I guess the jerky I should have done.
Dude, as soon as he turns up with the jerky, I was like, "Oh well, that's fucking human then."
Yeah, maybe. I guess I think I was sidelined by the obvious jerks. Now, I thought they were with him. I thought it was going to turn out...
I thought that was telegraphing the whole, we're going to be real dickheads because you're going to think that we're the real dickheads. And it's like, no.
So I actually thought he was in with that gang. I thought they were all the same gang. That's what I assumed was going on. So, yeah, I didn't expect filed down teeth man. But aside from that, 100%.
The filed down teeth, when he mentioned it, I did think, is that going to mean he's got them himself? But what was really weird about that, this is a bit of a spoiler, but when he pulls out his teeth, and he's got he's got the pointed teeth, and he sort of does the, puts her fingers in his mouth and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He then doesn't have them anymore. He puts his old teeth back in for the rest of the movie, and you're like, why?
Why would you do that? Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. Why
really strange.
Make a show of it and then put your teeth back in.
So anyway, this movie it stars Charlize Theron, and it's her and her husband. Opens in Norway. They're climbing this fucking sheer cliff edge, which they've presumably been climbing for days. I didn't realize that people camped on the side of cliffs, like their tents hanging off the cliff. It's not amazing, Matt. It's like, I was like, this is the stupidest idea I have ever seen in my life. Like, I can't help. Like, I really struggle to watch those movies. Even when they're like true stories, I really struggle with those movies when it's like, this person, went into the middle of nowhere and then he fell in a ditch and had to saw his arm off or something. I'm like, well, because he was an idiot. Like, why would you do that? Like my brain will not allow me to do these things. Like, when you see people that have, like,
I'd never do it. I'm not that.
So I see the start of this movie. I'm like, I'm like, no, you deserve to die. I'm sorry, this is
I've seen a few mountain climbing things, and I've seen them camping.
And I mean, fair enough.
Mental.
If you have got the nerves to do it, like,
exactly.
Fair enough to you. But personally, I'm like, I wouldn't be seen near that cliff face, let alone camping on the edge of it.
And I like climbing. I've never like properly done mountain climbing, but
no.
I mean, I'm fucking old and fat now. So, but when I was younger, I used to love climbing, stuff, and it was good fun. But never like proper mountain ranges and snow and picks and all that sort of gear. No.
Yeah.
I'm not that mental.
So her husband dies, and she kind of blames herself. He was one day from retirement. But
there's this edge, there's this certain ledge that she has trouble getting over, because I think he says they've done this ascent before.
Yes, and she keeps getting stuck on this. It's like an overhang of sorts, isn't it? And she can't quite get it.
Getting around an overhang.
Yeah, and she I mean, God, how she didn't end up with multiple concussions and broken bones trying that over and over again, I do not know. Yeah. But I guess it sets up things nicely for later anyway. So her husband dies, and 5 months later, she's clearly grieving. And so she heads to this national park in Australia, in the outback, and the sheriff or whoever,
warden or
warden, probably a ranger, just says, look, don't go alone. You'll probably die. And to be honest,
and then proceeds to show her a wall full of people who have gone missing.
Yeah. And to be fair, from what I've heard of the Australian outback, it is. I mean, the mortality rate is. It's not good. If you don't know what you're doing and you go out to the fucking outback, the odds of you
practically every animal wants to kill you and is poisonous.
Like, it's not a good idea. But anyway, she goes anyway, and the movie kind of goes on from there. She meets some assholes, who clearly are she meets them a couple of times, hunters, who are total dicks, and she meets this other chap, who kind of sticks up for her, even though she doesn't want him to. And she wakes up one morning and finds that her pack's been stolen. Yeah. Which I'm assuming she's like, when she says to him, "Oh, an animal stole my pack," I was like, "You're not that dumb, are you?" Though, like, I mean, you know, it was a person, right? Like,
yeah,
I think at that point,
it sort of felt like she was trying to be,
to be nice and to be like, it's not bothered me, kind of thing. Yeah.
But
she meets him, and it turns out, of course, he stole.
If it was like in America or something like that, they've got bears. Bears can take off packs and things like that. They do.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything in Australia that would take a pack. Not.
Well, I mean, maybe there are. Maybe there are. I don't know. But it turns out the guy took the pack, obviously, and he's now going to hunt her. It's a hunt you movie. I've seen these movies before. I've seen this movie before. And he's going to hunt her. He gives her his pack.
He gives her pack back, and he says he's.
And I was immediately like, I would have lost that pack. I would have lost that pack as soon as possible, because I would have assumed he was tracking me with it. Like, my first immediate thought was like, I'm going to be tracked with this thing. I need to lose this bag as soon as possible.
I mean, he did sort of say it was a ritual, and he did say it's like other people haven't given him much of a fight, sort of thing. So it kind of suggests that he's an old school hunter. He doesn't.
Sure. I wouldn't have believed him.
Devices, but yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure I would have believed him either.
But either way, he's just magic and knows where she is at all times. As it turns out, he's just magic. But so the chase ensues, and we kind of go from there. Things I thought Charlize Theron was fine in this. I thought Taron Egerton was fine as well. Actually,
I wasn't sure about the accent, but
it came and went. But the performance overall,
really creepy. He does creepy really well.
He does, especially when he's dancing to the songs and stuff. It's like, this is he's unhinged. And I thought
you get
Charlie's...
to see a lot of him as well. He's like running around naked, which is quite funny. There are certain times where you think, hang on, right? Charlize Theron is supposed to be. I'm not saying she's like a hunter or anything like that, but she's an outdoors person. She's clever. She's clearly clever.
Yeah.
There are certain times where you go, well, that's obviously a fucking trap.
The phone. When she finds the phone playing a video of a family,
there's the boat as well.
She just stares at the phone for fucking ages. You're like, what are you doing? You know he's got a crossbow. Why are you doing this? And she's just there like,
why are you watching the home movie when you should be running?
And the boat, like you said, the boat is total bait, but
like, obviously he's fucking trapped it. He's
of course
over there being a total dick. You know he's gonna trap it.
Yeah. And there is an element of like this movie does do the thing that, yes, it is. It looks good. It does the thing that really annoys me with these kind of movies where, like, the villain just magically knows where she is at all times.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter where she goes. He knows.
He does sort of appear, you know. He's very Jason, you know.
Yes, he is very Jason Voorhees. Yeah.
Just appears.
It is beautiful, though, to your point.
Yes, it's really beautiful. There's some of the scenery is spectacular. One of the things I think suffers in this movie is the tension. It's not very good at ramping up the tension.
No. I thought it started off quite well, but once you get into it, it kind of... And it almost becomes a different movie as well. Like, it was almost like it wasn't sure what it wanted to be, because I thought that...
Yeah.
When we started, I was like, oh, this movie's going to be him hunting her for the movie. And then, like, about halfway through, they're like, nah, she's just going to be kidnapped for most of this movie now. And it's like, okay. There's, like, it almost felt like it couldn't quite decide what it wanted it to be, this movie.
No. Because when you get to his cave, it's sort of that they want to do the big horror thing, but they don't really commit to it.
I agree. I actually thought that was the most disappointing part, because I'm like, well, if you're gonna do this, do it.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't. Like you said, they very much they were like, hey, well, horror overtones, but we're not gonna actually go there. And it's like, no, your movie's about a fucking cannibal. Come on.
And then I think we're gonna spoil this movie, but okay, so spoilers. Sorry, everybody, but she hits his leg. She breaks his leg, right?
Yes.
And then I thought, okay, so from here on, it's going to be she needs him to survive and he needs her to survive. So now they're going to have to properly team up and do it. And they sort of do that for 5 minutes. And then it's sort of over. And you're like, well, hang on a minute. You just built up this really cool idea about them having to rely on each other, even though one clearly wants to kill the other.
And even though in the end of the movie, she didn't need him at all.
No, she didn't at all.
Because she was fine. And that was my thought. I was like, Mr. Like, when Mr. Cannibal's like, hey, you'll need my help getting out of here, you know, getting back to civilization alone, I would be like, yeah, I'll take my chances.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good. I'm good. Actually, you know, I have outdoors experience. You know, she's an adrenaline junkie. She's put herself in a lot of situations before. You know, she knows what she's doing. And the bit that he points at when he's like, "You won't get out of there without my help," is a mountain range, and you're like, "That's what she does. That's like her main thing." She can definitely do that.
Yep.
But
she's not gonna have a problem with the mountain. That's not going to be the problem at all.
I would say I really liked her performance for the most part. I bought her reckless, like, I've lost my husband and I'm on the edge of suicide, basically. I kind of bought all of that. It's just, it's not terrible. It's silly, but it has its moments, and I enjoyed it. It was short enough that it didn't drag or anything.
Yeah. It's just, I think the worst thing is that there are times where you think, oh, this could be really tense. I don't know whether it's a music problem or whether it's just a setup problem, but it feels like it should we should be on the edge of our seats in some of these scenes, and we're not. It's all it just sort of flubs it and doesn't kind of pull through on the promise of real tension.
Yeah.
You
almost want like a First Blood cat and mouse thing going on.
Yeah.
And the movie never lets it breathe long enough for that to be a thing. Like I think one of the most effective scenes is when she goes down that crevasse and she's kind of hid under a ledge and he's above looking for her, and like stuff like that works really well. That was really tense, but then it's almost immediately like, oh no, and now she's going to fall into the water, and now it's going to be another chase through the water, and it's like give it time, like show us, have her like hiding from him, he's nearby, he can't see her, instead of this like, oh, he knows exactly where you are at all times. Like actually have a proper cat and mouse thing going on. I think that would have built tension.
They having like him in the foreground and her hidden away, we can just about see her sort of thing, or they didn't have any of that sort of build up. It was too sort of, everything was telegraphed and it just had no tension to it. Excuse me. A similar movie, which I haven't seen for donkey's years, but River Wild.
Yes.
With Meryl Streep. That has a sort of similar thing to it, and that's tense as fuck.
Yes, that does tension a lot better. I agree.
That does tension really, really well. So I would say, if you want to see a similar sort of movie, watch that, because it's much better.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of these types of movies out there.
Yeah, like you said, I think it suffers from not committing enough to certain bits. It's like it has the ideas, and then it goes, but we don't want to push it too far. So we don't want to go too far into this. We don't.
It's for Netflix.
You get this whole little bit where they're talking about his mum and all that sort of stuff, but they don't really do anything with it, and it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Other than for her to go, oh, you've clearly been damaged.
Yeah.
No shit. The dude's fucking off his rocker.
Yeah, and she just comes across really stupid at times. That's the other thing. Especially early on.
Yeah.
You're like obviously it's him. When she comes across him there, I'm like, it was obviously him then, wasn't it? Come on.
Yeah.
And she does stuff where I'm like, God, you're lucky. Because I was like, immediately like, don't eat the food and water he gives you. Like, obviously he's poisoned, and luckily he hadn't poisoned it, right? But my immediate thought is that's drugged. And he even makes a joke about drugging her while she's drinking it.
He does.
Just
I mean, that's what sort of makes you think that he's not tracking her with,
no. Well, I assumed he was tracking her because he always finds her, but it just turns out he just knows magically where she is. So
yeah, I mean, you could say he's been doing this for years, so he knows where all the places are, how to get there quicker. So he knows the territory, so at least he's got that going for him. And like you said, it's not a terrible movie.
No, I enjoyed it, and it's short enough that it's it's not gonna. It doesn't drag, that's for sure. It definitely goes. No. But yeah, it's okay. It's a solid 5 out of 10 for me. It's mediocre but fine. It's not awful.
Yeah. And it does have some very pretty scenery, and it does have some nice climbing scenes.
Yes.
I mean, there's some very good water rapids stuff as well, which I quite like. There was a lot of so those sort of chases worked quite well. And when
he was very lucky that she fucked up with the boat escape, because she would have been gone. Like, I don't know how he would have caught her if she hadn't fucked up. Like, she just kept going on the boat. That's the end of the movie. She's gone. Like, sorry, buddy.
That did occur to me at one point. I was thinking, well, she got the she's gone. There's no way he's catching up with
she's just gone. Yeah.
Unless he gets a boat himself, there's no way.
I guess maybe that's his plan. Maybe that's the plan. I mean, we do see later that he did have a boat.
He does have, he does.
So maybe that was the plan. But it's fine. It's watchable. Average. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What would you like to talk about next?
So shall we do the smashing machine?
Oh, yeah. Well, in the last movie that we discussed, Apex, you mentioned soundtracks and music. I fucking hate the music in this movie. I kind of was like, I got to a point where I was like, do I hate this jazz music that's going on throughout this movie? And I was like, sometimes it's okay, but on the whole, I decided by the end of the movie, no, I hated it. It was really fucking grating on me, the whole movie.
There was a couple of tunes that they used a couple
the actual songs, yes, the actual songs they used, but the jazz fucking whatever the hell was going on for a lot of it, I was like, no, this does not suit the scene at all, in my opinion. I didn't like it. So of course the Smashing Machine is the Dwayne The Rock Johnson's Oscar attempt. He is playing the role of Mark Kerr, a real life MMA fighter. Yeah. And alongside him,
one of the big sort of pioneers of
yes, yeah.
One of the early pioneers.
Big in the late 90s, which I do remember some of the late 90s UFC stuff. Back when it was different. Let's put it that way. And also we have Emily Blunt who plays his partner Dawn. So it's a biopic. I always struggle with biopics to an extent because I don't know the story of Mark Kerr to know whether it's the most accurate thing in the world or not.
I know of him. I don't really know anything about him, or
Yeah. So I will say, straight off the bat, I mean, it may be something of a low bar, but I think this is the best acting I've seen from The Rock. Like, he's playing a character. He's not being The Rock. And it's been a while since I could say that. You know?
The thing that gets me, though, is I've seen I read a number of reviews, and they all say, oh, he transforms himself. He doesn't sound... And I was thinking, no, he just looks like The Rock with a bit of
stuff on his face. In fact, it's actually distracting, is what it is. The whole movie. Yeah. This is not a fucking the Penguin transformation here. No, you know, it's not, because Colin Farrell also embodied that character to where you just didn't even recognize him anyway. You could tell this is The Rock. Like, he's not, especially when he shaves his head.
Oh yeah, that was.
It's like now you just are The Rock.
Yeah, that was kind of the. I mean, I'm sure, and I know I'm
sure he did.
In real life.
Yeah.
But it was a case of no, because that just makes you look even more like The Rock now.
Yeah. And now you just look exactly like The Rock.
People said, "Oh, he's changed. Oh, he's lowered his voice and he's changed his voice." It's like, no,
he did an accent of sorts.
It just sounds like The Rock not shouting.
Yeah, well, he did put an accent on or something. There was something going on there, a little bit different. But it's I think for him, it's the best performance I have seen him give. So I'll give him that.
It certainly isn't The Rock, because that's pretty much who The Rock plays most of the time.
We also have Emily Blunt playing Dawn, who I thought was fine. I mean, she's very good in everything, really. So it's hard, it's kind of hard to say, but she was fine in this. I thought she was good. She gave a good performance.
She looked amazing.
Oh yeah, she always looks amazing.
Except for the tan was a bit weird, but she looked great other than that.
And I don't know, like I guess this movie. I mean, Mark Kerr appears at the end of the movie as himself.
Yeah, which is sort of
really awkwardly waves to the camera and says, "Bye, guys."
It's weird. It's
so strange.
It sort of feels like they didn't have his permission to film them.
Well,
I thought they turned up with him going shopping and filmed him. It's like,
I actually thought The Rock turned up and was like, "We'll buy your fucking groceries if you let us film you leave." It was so weird.
It was such a weird. Well, thing watching this dude going shopping and saying hello to people and how their day is like.
Yeah,
this is an odd choice. Very
but
weird.
one thing I will say, is like, I guess fair play to Mark Kerr, right? Because he must have signed off on this movie, and it does not paint him or Dawn in a particularly good light in places.
No.
Like, it really doesn't. And I was like, fair enough. Like, he's like, it's kind of a warts and all, because a lot of those biopics are very like, let's ignore the bit where he did all of the drugs and fucked up his life, or let's ignore the skill. Like, well, there's a fucking Michael Jackson movie out right now. I'm sure that's avoiding a lot of things.
Well, I think the Michael Jackson movie hasn't got to the point where those things start.
Oh, okay, so they're avoiding it. Yeah, they're just like, let's not do that stage of his life.
Yeah, I think it ends in the 90s, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
That movie. So from what I've heard, I haven't seen it, but.
No, me either. I am actually looking forward to seeing it, but I do find those biopics do have a set.
Well, I think the Freddie Mercury one did that, didn't it?
Oh, it did very much.
Really wanted to sort of sanitize his life and not bring up the bad stuff, you know. And I think if you want to look at Walk the Line, that doesn't pay. Half the time, Johnny Cash in that is an absolute asshole.
Yeah.
That those sort of ones are great when you see those people as real people.
And I did get that feel from this, where it was like, okay, this is not just like, you know, blowing smoke up Mark Kerr's ass. Like, it genuinely does show him
sort of heroic or anything like that. I mean,
no, not at all.
It was actually quite a weird portrayal, because the arguments between him and Dawn.
They're both very toxic in places.
Oh God, they should not have been together at all.
No, and then at the end it says they were married for 6 years, and like, oh my God, that must have been a horrendous 6 years.
After the incident towards the end, you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah,
they got back together, and then they married and they had kids, and now they're not together again. You're like, okay.
But God, that must have been 6 years of hell, the two of them.
He was so passive aggressive.
Oh God, yeah.
First scene you see with him, she's doing something nice for him. She's made him
No, she didn't just make him a smoothie, did she? Isn't that like when she's literally flown to fucking Japan to see him? Wasn't that the opening scene?
Oh no,
one of them.
I think that one's a bit later. That one, that one's just after that one. There's the one at the very beginning where they're at the house.
Oh yeah, she didn't use enough bananas and stuff.
So she used the wrong milk, and she didn't use enough bananas. Right. And it's the way he's sort of passively aggressive. He sort of says, "Oh yeah, oh well, you didn't do that. Did you do this? No. Well, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Did you put how many bananas did you put in? Oh well, it was, you know, 1.5. It's 1.5 now." It's like, what? And he just tips it away, and you're like, I'll just do it, shall I? And you're like, wow, you prick. It's like, just fucking drink it.
Just drink it, and then eat another banana afterwards.
Or something, you know what I mean?
This is not a problem, mate.
But she's awful as well. They're both fucking
oh my God.
Awful.
When he gets clean and she's like, oh, this relationship sucks. I kind of liked looking after him when he was a fuck up. Like, now that he's sober, I can't stand him.
She's taking painkillers in front of him, and you're like, you bitch.
Yeah, and she's like, you're just jealous of me because I can take painkillers recreationally and you can't. Yeah. It doesn't paint either of them in a particularly good light, and they clearly had a very toxic relationship. But I thought the performances were very good. It's a strange.
I'm going to go off on one.
No, please do.
This movie's boring.
Yeah, I was literally getting there, my friend. That's where I was going. So please continue.
It's so dull. How do you make?
And it felt meandering.
A movie about a fighter.
Yes.
Dull.
Yeah, and also not only a fighter, but also have this incredibly toxic relationship going on, which should be really interesting as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like, it kind of, both sides felt really flat to me.
Yeah.
And dull.
There's only one really good scene where they are properly both acting their hearts out, and that's when towards the end, when she probably goes off on one.
That was great.
When she's about to do stuff, and he's hugging her.
That was very good.
Great scene.
I also got a kick out of her gaslighting him into going on the fair ride. That made me laugh.
Oh, that was
hilarious. That whole scene made me laugh. But
that was funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, no, it's
what I love about that is it's just the it's the guy that the
I just work here, pal. Yeah.
The carnival guy, and he says, "You've got this humongous guy going up because I've got a bit of a upset tummy and
a dicky tummy."
You just think, dude, no, don't do that. It's like, really, no. There was just no, like, on a similar thing with the last one. The tension they could have had, there could be so much tension in this movie.
Yeah, 100%.
They don't have it,
and
to make it worse, the fight scenes, half the time you can't see what's going on.
Yeah.
You've got them like, and I understand that they clearly want to make it almost like a documentary style movie.
Sure.
It's like, but there already is a documentary from what I know.
Called The Smashing Machine, I believe.
Yeah.
Just to make things confusing.
So they could have had, when you do get glimpses of the fights properly, they look really good. There's some lovely brutal, hits. But sometimes you just, there's a guy in the way, or the ropes will be in the way, and you're like, what a weird choice to make. I want to see the fucking fight. Don't just. I
also felt like, did you feel like it didn't? For me, it's like, yes, obviously there's substance abuse in this movie, and there's he takes the narcotic painkillers and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like it went far enough with that either to show us that downward spiral. Because it kind of starts halfway through the story, to be honest, is how it feels.
Yeah.
He's kind of already in the spiral, and it's like, you've missed the first act of the movie. What? You know?
You don't have a sort of, you get the initial sort of thing where it says, oh, this is him starting, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then
you skip to 1999.
It feels like you're then thrown into the middle of everything, and everything sort of happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's sort of a similar thing at the end. It's like, well, could we have had a bit more of something?
Could we have seen them get back together? Could we see the reconciliation? No, we just get.
It's like, oh, he lost that fight. Yeah.
But he lost that fight, but he smiled at the end, and now here's Mark Kerr doing his shopping.
Yeah. And one of the annoying things as well, I thought, his mate, Mark Coleman, his mate, his story seemed way more interesting.
I was gonna say, yeah, he did seem really interesting.
So every time he was on the screen, he was much more interesting. There seemed to be a lot more going on with that guy than what was going on with him. And to make it worse, we even saw him winning his fight. And
yeah,
like, I'm sure they wanted to do that as a contrast.
Yes,
it didn't
I guess
really
so.
work. It just made me think, oh, can we watch the movie about that guy? Because that guy seems more interesting.
Yeah.
It had the bones of what could have been a good movie.
Yeah. And it had some, I mean, obviously, you had some great cast as well, And I do feel like I said, I do think this is it's the best performance I've seen The Rock give. Which says something, and Emily Blunt's always great.
It's definitely Dwayne Johnson actually acting.
Yes, which is rare, I find.
Yeah. So I will definitely give it that. But
yeah,
it's too long and it's too boring.
Yeah. Which is crazy, really, because like you said, it's about a fighter, which is compelling. It's about this really toxic relationship, which is again really compelling, and two people really acting their hearts out is what you would hope for. But like you said, it doesn't really get to that apart from a couple of scenes. And
it's the structure. The structure's wrong because you get
the structure is wrong.
You get this scene where he's running around looking for his drugs. So you get a bit of a build up, then you get the collapse, and then he goes into rehab, and then he comes straight back out, and you're like, well, hang on a minute, can we not have him
and then he
dealing with it? Show him actually going through a bit of a struggle while he's in rehab or something, or...
Well, all you get is he goes to rehab, then he comes out of rehab, and then his fucking mate trainer injures his arm, and he's like, "Oh, have you tried crack? Here's my crack that I still have, but it's leftover crack." Injects his mate, so he's now probably addicted to fucking narcotic painkillers, and he's just like, "I'm off. I'm fine. Goodbye." It's like, dude, the ambulance will be here soon. You don't need to fucking shoot him up with whatever the fuck you've been taking for the last couple of years. But that was their like really weird, misguided way. And maybe it happened, but it kind of felt like a really misguided way of showing that he was over it. It's like he shoots his mate up with it, and then he just throws it in the bin and walks out. It's like, I don't need it anymore. And it's like, but you saw what it did to your life, motherfucker. Why did you give it to him? Like, just tell him, oh God, the ambulance will be here as soon as possible, man. Just hang in there, you know? It's a strange one, this movie. It feels too long, although it shouldn't. I feel like if it was better paced and if they'd focused on different parts of his life, it probably would have been fine. Like, what were his motivations to become a fighter? Like, what what led him to do that? What led him to start doing the narcotics? You know, like, none of that.
Nothing about his family or...
No, none of it. He's just there. There he is.
Or whether he, if he didn't have a family, or...
But then that's interesting. Show us that.
He came, exactly. It's like where he came from, what... It
it's
just
a strange
sort of chucks
one.
It chucks you in the middle and doesn't quite know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Once it's there, and sort of fumbles what it does show you.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a strange one.
I can't recommend it.
Not really. I mean, I recommend seeing some clips to see The Rock, The Rock in this performance, because I think it's an interesting performance by The Rock.
Look up some of the clips. Yeah, some of the. I mean that last scene.
That's very good.
The last blowout, let's say. That's probably the best thing in the whole movie, because you get a big build up to it. You get the sniping. Them sniping each other, and then fucking gaslighting each other, and then it fucking turns up to 11 and she goes fucking mental.
Yeah,
that's all good stuff. That's
totally.
You know that, and the thing is you think, well, what do you want from a fighting biopic? And you think, well, you want a certain amount of fighting. You don't want it,
Well, I want the same as I want
or anything.
No,
you don't
God no.
Want it, I mean, you can saying, "Oh, I want something like Rocky." Is easy to say, but the fact that it's a real person should mean that you can do it a different way. But then to make it,
I wanted more of
yourself and not do anything with that either.
Yeah. And that I want the same from this as I want from any biopic, really, because they all follow that same kind of principle. I want to see the way up, the way down, and the redemption. Yeah. And this movie just showed me the way down, and then not really a redemption at the end. It just kind of skipped the rest of his life. It's like we got the downfall, and that's the only bit we got. And then at the end he smiles, and that's the end of the movie. And you're like, but what about the rise? And what about the redemption? I want to see that, and I want to see more of their relationship. Like, show us that. Like, it's a strange movie, and you feel like this could have been really good. It had the actors, it had the direction. It just baffling.
I mean, I don't think we really learned anything about this guy other than that.
No,
he was addicted to drugs. He had a bad girl. He had a
bad girlfriend. He doesn't like fairground rides. Yeah,
he doesn't like fairground rides. He had a bad girlfriend, and he kind of fizzled out. His career sort of fizzled out. It's like, well,
but I am sure this man is interesting, and I would like to have seen a biopic on his life for sure. I just don't know it kind of feels like it just fails as a biopic for me, and I think that's the biggest issue. Had it done that, show us the rise, show us the fall, show us that redemption. Yeah. But skipping to that, you almost immediately skip to he's grabbing the fucking needle in like the first couple of scenes. You're like, okay, we're already here. Like,
Yeah, that was that. I did find that strange that, we were already there at that point. We're like, well,
yeah,
we haven't had any build up to this. We're just there. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe it's going to be one of those, that you got off the drugs, and then we're going to have the big build up, blah blah blah, and then it's going to carry on. But it doesn't. It just sort of goes sideways and down. It never really. You don't ever get a big pickup or anything.
No.
I mean,
no, and you don't get any
to show how miserable his fucking life is. I don't know.
Or was. He's happy now. He's waving goodbye to the camera. He's like, goodbye.
He's happy now. He's shopping and waving goodbye.
I got me nachos. I'm off. Yeah, he's happy now. Yeah, strange. And over long.
Too long for what they show you. It's I can't recommend this one at all. It's just too boring.
Yeah, it was a miss, a strange miss considering the hype around it and the Oscar bait that it was trying to be. Yeah, shame.
Yeah.
So, what else have you watched?
So I also watched The Long Walk.
The one I didn't see. The one I almost saw.
That's the one I'm presuming you didn't see.
No, I did not see it because, well, I just don't really. The premise doesn't really vibe with me, to be honest.
Well, I thought I'd give it a go. Why not?
Yeah. I think for me, it's just like so post-apocalypse or whatever. Apocalypse.
Yeah, so it's alternate 70s.
Yeah.
In basically an America that had a civil war, or another civil war, and they're sort of reeling from it. There's basically the economy's fucked and everything's gone to shit, and they have this lottery every year that pretty much every kid goes for, and
yes,
basically what it means is if you have to walk for a continuous walk
for forever.
Until you drop. Basically, you have to keep a certain pace. You have to keep 3 miles per hour constantly. Otherwise, you get warnings. And I think it's after 4 or 5 warnings, they just shoot you. If you deviate from the road, you get shot. If you try and attack the soldiers, you get shot, or in some cases crushed to death. If you interfere too much or cause too much of a fuss, I think really you that's it. You get shot. But the winner gets a shit ton of money and 1 wish fulfilled. You can basically ask for anything.
See, my brain is immediately like, there is no winner. If I won this, I'll just get shot in the head, and they'll never talk about it again.
Well, apparently, you do get you get sort of tales of previous winners, like people have asked for an elephant,
right,
and rode off on it, and stuff like that. So it does seem like that. Unlike the Running
Okay,
Man.
So they do get. So it has been fulfilled in the past. This is not like a Running Man campaign where they're like, "Hey, this guy went to wherever."
They're in Fiji.
Yeah,
Fiji or whatever it was.
When actually Sub-Zero just froze them and split them in half. Yeah.
Yeah. Or what's his name? Fireball.
Fireball Man. What was his name? Fucking hell.
He's Fireball, isn't he? Isn't he not Fireball?
Is he called Fireball? Yeah, he might be called Fireball. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah, so it does suggest that there is an actual winner every year who
right, okay.
But that obviously means that I think there's like 50 contestants. That means that every year 50 kids die horribly, pretty much.
Why are they doing this anyway?
It's supposed to be inspirational.
Okay.
The idea is that all these kids have, because they've all volunteered. They're not forced into it.
No, presumably they're all living in poverty, I assume.
Yeah, so they're all, life is shit, and it's the idea that they can provide for their families basically if they win.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be inspirational, and it's supposed to be that sort of thing. So you've got the main sort of there becomes like a core group of and they sort of make friends as they go on. So we've got Raymond Garrity, played by Cooper Hoffman, Peter McVaries, played by David Johnson. You've got Hank Olsen, played by Ben Wang. You've got Gary Barkovich, played by Charlie Plummer, who's a cunt. And there's like Collie, who's Parker. Basically, they're sort of they turn up, they get dropped off. So our main guy is Garrity. So we see him being driven there at the beginning by his mum, played by Judy Greer, who just seems to be everybody's mum these days, which is fine by me. I love Judy Greer, but I hope
me too.
I want her to get other parts other than someone's mum.
Absolutely.
Basically, they sort of explain a few things about the process, and she basically says, "Oh, you don't have to turn up now. You can go. You can't." And he says, "No, the date for walking away was yesterday. I can't walk away now. I've got to do it." So she drops him off. They say goodbye, and then he sits there, on the ground on the sort of tarmac with this group of other kids, and slowly they start talking to each other, and the McVaries character, Peter McVaries, he's they kind of spark a friendship quite quickly. They sort of have a bit of a joke, and they spark quite well. So they sort of have this thing where they kind of decide they're going to keep each other going as a sort of thing, even though they know that at some point they're probably all going to die.
Yeah. It's going to come down to one of them in the end, right? Because only one person can win.
Exactly. So overseeing this, you've got the Major, who is played by Mark Hamill. And he's this sort of tough, gruff guy who's been in the war, and he's in charge of all this, and he oversees it every year, and he spurs them on, and you find out one of the kids is his illegitimate son, which suggests that he's got loads of illegitimate sons all over the place, or kids. He basically, you've got armored cars that are driving along beside them all the way, and he's obviously the guy shouting at them every now and again, and he's sort of encouraging them. He's also, he's that sort of hype man who's going, "Do it for your families, people. Let's show this country what you're made of," and all that sort of stuff. Right?
Sure.
I will say one of the problems with casting Mark Hamill as this Major is Mark Hamill is not an intimidating figure. Sticking him in fatigues and putting a hat on him and mirror shades does not make him at all. And the gruff voice that he's doing every now and again just slightly slips into the Joker, which is kind of, which I thought was kind of funny. I mean, luckily he's not really in it that much, which is kind of good. But they really should have, if they wanted to have I'm sure they could have found a more intimidating older guy. I mean, I don't know, Ron Perlman or something, or just somebody who has a bigger presence. Mark Hamill has a certain presence, yes, but not. He's by no. I don't think he can pull off intimidating at all. So basically, the whole movie is just watching these kids walk, fail, and die horribly.
Which is what the trailer promised us. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of it. You know what you're getting going in. I will say there's not really any surprises. The end is a little surprising. I suppose
Right.
there's a thing that I didn't quite see. I knew there was going to be something. I knew what happened was going to happen. Well, I mean, I haven't read the book, and I didn't look up. Other than, I mean, I know the premise. I've known about the story for years. I just never read it, and I know. I sort of had a vague idea of what happens, but I thought, well, I'm not going to look it up because I didn't want to know, how it ends or if it's different or anything like that. What this movie does have is two amazing performances by Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson. They are brilliant. The sort of the conversations they have and the way they keep themselves sort of going, and how they, their actual stories are really interesting. What they've been through, why they agreed to do this, and what they want when they get there, sort of thing. If they get there, is actually really well done. Especially David Johnson. He is so fucking good. What is quite funny is I think he's supposed to be 17, but I looked the actor up,
Right.
he's like 35.
That's a very
And
American thing to do.
yeah, and he doesn't really look terribly. I mean, he doesn't. I will say he doesn't look
It's like
35.
he's like the fucking Fonz.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He doesn't look 35, but he doesn't look 17 either. There's some lovely little sort of snippy bits between some of the characters. There's one character. I said that the Barkovich character, the Charlie Plummer character, he's an asshole from the beginning. He winds the others up, and not really a spoiler. There's one particular bit where he starts ragging on one of the kids and starts calling him gay and starts having a go at him. And of course, the kid swings for him, but then he falls over, and the kid has trouble getting up then.
Okay.
And of course, that's it. He doesn't get up, he gets taken out. And it's all because of him.
Right.
And you see that this character then bothers this character. It doesn't stop him from being a dick. He's still a dick.
But the fact that he killed someone.
Yeah, you can see it weighing on him throughout the rest of the walk.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, he's still sort of winding people up, but not as much. And you can see he keeps saying to them, like, I didn't kill that kid, I didn't kill him. It's not my fault that he died. And everybody's like, yes, it fucking is. You fucking wound him up. He went down. You pretty much killed him. And then you've got this Ben Wang as Hank Olsen, who he's this sort of like little mouthy kid who knows all these statistics about things, and he's got all this like really thing. But he's like, almost as soon as you see him and he starts talking, you just think, oh kid, you're not gonna make this, are you? you're really gonna be, And there were times where you think, oh, that's it for that character, but they manage to they pull them back up, they pull them forward, and they keep themselves going. I was really actually impressed with the central core performances. I really enjoyed. It's not a movie that's gonna, it's not breaking any ground or anything. It feels very much like a formula you've seen before. It's a Hunger Games-y sort of, a bunch of kids in a totalitarian world going through shit. And the funny thing is, I think the director, Francis Lawrence, he previously done the Hunger Games movies. He directed so you can, I mean, he's not stretching himself here, but what he has done is a very competent, well put together movie. It's got some nice little tensions. They do, unlike the other two movies that we've seen today, they do make a good job of having tension. They do, I think they do a good job of making you feel for these kids. They are, not forced into it, but kind of are forced into it because of circumstance. they do it because it's a shit life, and it's
it's their chance.
Yeah,
like you said, they're trying to provide for their families and get out of the situation they're in.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And you get little things like some of the kids lie about certain things about themselves that turn out to be detrimental to what happens to them, and I really enjoyed it. I think Mark Hamill was one of the weaker points,
right? Yeah,
but he's not terrible. He just I just don't think he really suited the role very well.
Yeah, he didn't have the intimidation that you would need.
No,
yeah, fair enough.
But other than that, I really enjoyed it. It's
great.
It's a pretty solid, well put together. And I said, what really makes it is the two leads, the Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson are wonderful. They're a special sort of the friendship that they forge as they're going ahead is really well done and really good. And I'm not sure I've seen him David Johnson in anything previously, but he's really good, and I'd be happy. I'd happily watch him in anything again. He's really good. Oh dear, he was in Alien Romulus.
It's half a good movie.
Apparently he was Andy in Alien Romulus.
A fantastic performance, actually.
So there you go. He's clearly a really good actor.
He does. That's the android, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a very good job.
Film, but yeah.
Well, it's his performance is very good.
His performance is really good.
It is. He gets reprogrammed at one point in the movie, and it's a very good range of character. It's a very good switch.
I remember you saying on your review, it was really good.
It's one of the better parts of the movie.
I would say give it a go if you want it doesn't drag or anything. I think they do a pretty good job of pacing, and it's worth it for the two leads. I would say if you want to see two really good central performances, give it a go. It's a good movie.
Great. Well, the only other movie I believe we have left is Greenland 2 Migration.
Yeah.
This is the follow-up to 2020's Greenland, which I can't remember what you thought of, but I found it to be one of the best of its type.
Yeah, we loved it.
End of the world. We both loved it. Great. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
We both loved it.
So I was very impressed by that movie.
There was a few moments I think we thought were stupid, but
yes, but in a movie like that's rare to only have a few of those moments.
Yeah. I think mainly we loved it because it was more of a family story than the sort of the big disaster movie that it kind of sold itself as.
Yes, absolutely. It felt a bit more grounded, if you could use that word in such a film.
Yeah, and there was some genuine horrible moments when the kid gets taken away, and and one of I think actually her best performance, Morena Baccarin's best performance. I think
she was superb in the first one. Yeah, I totally agree. So in 2026 we get the completely unnecessary sequel. I kind of went into this like I don't even know how you make a sequel to Greenland. It was clearly a one and done, but here we are. So they evacuated in the first movie, as we saw.
Yep.
They got to Greenland and they're in their bunker. Things go wrong in the bunker, and they're forced to evacuate and find new land, a new place to live. They have to try and survive. All the while, Gerard Butler's character of John is clearly dying of some horrible cancer or something that he's caught whilst being outside. So, we should probably mention Greenland was about a giant comet called Clark hitting the Earth. That's why we are where we are. Sorry.
It was an end of the Greenland in the first movie is an end of the Earth. Big comets come down, smash everything up. Everyone's gonna die.
Yeah, except turns out most of the buildings seem to fare pretty well in this world-ending event. Even when you go to France, which apparently is where this all fucking happened, buildings are still standing. They're tough old buildings. So they have to escape. They end up taking a life raft, which they sail to England. It's a lifeboat that they just use it to get to England. And then from there, they walk through. They go to London, then they go to France, and somewhere along the way, they get the idea. I think it's one of their fellow scientists. She says,
they set it up at the beginning that when they're talking about
what happened after
how the world's surviving, what's left, what's going on, because we get these big radiation storms that pass over. The Earth keeps having. They keep getting earthquakes, and volcanic fissures keep opening up.
Yes.
And one of the scientists says that within the craters, there's like life in these craters, sort of new life, suggesting that new life has gone. And then there's this idea that when the big comet in the past hit and killed all the dinosaurs, that comet, like life came out of the remains of that comet. So what we have now all came out of that comet. So there's that. They put the idea in your head that if we can get into
Dr. Casey, that's the one who said
if we can
Amber Rose Reaver, who was in Punisher and stuff. She was in the Netflix shows.
If we can get to this thing, it'll sustain our life and we'll be fine, because everything's pretty shit here.
Yes, and objectively that is true.
Yeah,
it's a miserable life. All the kids live indoors, and then obviously once it's a miserable life stuck inside, and then of course when the fissure opens and they're forced to evacuate, they're then exposed to the elements.
They did do a bit of a bait and switch with the. So they get the distress signals from the people that are living in mine shafts and stuff.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna invade or something.
That's what I thought. This is they're gonna they're gonna grab them, because they start bringing them over, and they say, "Oh, there's another load waiting."
There's a load more. Yeah.
We're coming, and then they just kill them all, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, okay then." Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
Not going that way then.
No, it's a reasonably well. It works well, because I genuinely was the same. I was like, okay, they're gonna get taken over by Mad Max men.
Yes, that's kind of why.
Toe Cutter's gonna come in and they'll be forced to move out.
Coming in and he's gonna start stringing you all up.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's actually a natural event that forces them to relocate. So a few of them leave. They all head to England. Very easy to get to England. Apparently, they're just in their little lifeboat. Despite tsunamis, they get this tiny little lifeboat all the way to England in no time at all. And then they go through England, meeting people along the way. It does. There's a point in this. Go on.
There was the suggestion of the first movie is that if you're on the surface,
you
fucked. Are dead. There is no survival unless you can get, below.
I totally agree. That was exactly what that first movie told me. I am sure the idea was.
They get to
the idea was nothing survives.
Liverpool's a bit sunk, but the rest of the country seems fine.
Yeah, and it gets even worse, because Clark hit apparently in Europe, in France, I think.
Yeah.
And they go to France and they're still buildings standing and people alive. You're like, what the fuck? What?
Yeah.
It's like practically ground zero, and they're all fine.
Yeah.
But there comes a point in this movie as well where, There's a few really good scenes in this movie, or scenes that I really liked. And one of those scenes I really liked was the Frenchman who's like, "Please take my daughter."
Yeah.
Like, my wife's too ill. We're not going to make it. It's a heartbreaking scene. He's giving up his daughter for a better life because he knows hopefully she'll have a better life with them and be able to get to the Clark crater and live. But by that point in the movie, I am like, dude, do not let your daughter go with this fucking family, because if she goes with this family, she'll get shot in the fucking head, or fucking meteorites will fall out of the sky and just obliterate her, or the bridge will just the ground will just swallow her whole, because this is the most unlucky family, the most unlucky lucky family in the world, because everyone around them fucking dies.
Yeah.
Like, some kind of God will smite whoever hangs around with this family for too long.
Yeah, it really is. So I like when they're in England and they get they persuade a guy to take them to London.
Yes.
And they stop off in like a forest to rest and you know, whatever, pee break, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get a comet, another meteor strike or whatever, you know.
They say that Clark hit, but as a part of that, a lot of the rocks remained in the upper atmosphere, and they're kind of working their way down.
Earth now has like a belt of debris.
It's like a belt,
which is actually cool when you see it. It's really nice.
Very cool visual.
Sky,
yeah,
very cool. And of course, you know, these things just come down from time to time, and you get this massive strike, and yet they're hid on trees. The trees aren't blowing up. They're
it only hits that one guy.
Yes.
And by the way, it only hits that guy and his van, but not enough to where they can still get their completely intact packs out of the van afterwards and just walk away like nothing happened.
It knocks the van over and just makes it easier to get their stuff out of it.
Yeah.
No way! The fucking size of the rock that just fucking hit that dude. That fucking whole van is fucking toast. Everybody in that wood is toast. There should be no fucking trees there.
Well, and that's the thing.
Survived that, I don't know.
That's the thing that the first movie did so well. It conveyed this, like, no, this is a world-ending event. You know, this, like, anyone on the surface is just gonna be. And you see the size of the crater at the end of this movie, and you're like, yeah, that is a world-ending event.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they really want, like you said, with everybody dying around them, is they're doing the job of manipulating you to, you know, you want to feel sorry for these people. We don't want to kill off the main cast, so here's some people that will drop away but they literally feel like they're going, okay, well, we've had 10 minutes with this guy, he's dead. 10 minutes with this person,
we're bored of him.
Dead. 10 minutes with that person, they can go now. And it's like, that doesn't really help tensions or anything. You're just kind of waiting for them to die. It's not even in an exciting way, you know what I mean? It's like not even a tragic way. It's just, oh well, that guy got dead. That guy's dead now.
Yeah,
it's so weird. It's just... Okay. Spoilers when they get to the crater.
Yeah, there's trees.
That is a fucking magic crater.
Well, it's like 5 years ago, and there's trees in the crater.
Not only that,
how fast did the trees grow?
There are whole cultivated fields with hedges and everything in there.
Yeah.
Like, how?
But fully grown trees as well. Fully grown.
Yep.
Like, where did they come from?
Outside, there were people fighting to stop people getting into this place, and they're fighting over it. They're trying to get into it.
It's a war zone, but once you're in, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, hang on a minute. Either side has to do it. Why aren't they actually fighting in it? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Normally they would try and get in it. They're sort of...
You'd get in and hold it, right? That would be the idea. But they just fight around it.
It's not. This is not a good film.
No, and it's so unfortunate because I really enjoyed the first one, and in fact, I have had the ability to watch this film for a few weeks, and I've held off because I really like the original, and I was like, this feels so unnecessary. And I watched it, and it was 100% unnecessary, and you know, and ridiculous for the first film. Like I said, for is you know, crazy a plot as it is. It's as grounded as it could have been. The stakes were massive. You're going to die if you're on the surface. And now in this one, you've got, like, I mean, Gerard Butler's character's got cancer. He gets shot and he's, like, bleeding out, but then he somehow manages to navigate an entire mountain range, which they make very clear is a mountain range. He says, the French guy says, it's a mountain range.
Yeah.
But he manages it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, and also, I really, and I know, obviously, they were trying to keep the movie pacey.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like much of a journey, considering its post-apocalyptic world, and they went from Greenland to France. Yep. It just felt like, I mean, other than the assholes they met along the way, it felt like a very easy trip, considering. And it was quick, you know?
And there were just weird things, there were ridiculous things, like, they get to the old people's home.
The Alzheimer's patients, yeah.
There's an old people's home that is basically been running for 5 years in this thing, and you're telling me that one old lady with a shotgun has kept looters out of this place?
Oh, no. Don't forget that she put some plastic roofing over the door. Don't forget that.
She puts plastic roofing over the door, yeah.
That kept the gangs out.
There was no fucking way that
and also, especially when they're playing fucking, like, disco music at full volume.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you can hear the gunshots outside, so they can definitely hear that party going on. They're like, oh no, we'll leave the party alone. They're all crazy in there.
They're fucking dead. There's no fucking way that place would have been overrun.
Oh boy.
They just don't do a very good job of the premise.
And it's such a shame.
The first one, it falls apart in this one.
Well, this is one of those sequels I'm going to choose to ignore.
Yeah.
Like, because I loved that first movie. I really enjoyed it for what it was, and I might even rewatch Greenland at some point. It's one of those movies I watched and I was like, do you know what? I did enjoy that. I may rewatch that in the future. And when I do, I will ignore that this movie exists because it was so unnecessary from the start. I think maybe you could have had an interesting movie in not them migrating, but just seeing them trying to exist in that bunker. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But Lord, what were they thinking with this sequel?
I don't know.
And the acting's fine. They're doing the best they can with the script they've been given. But
I mean, I don't know how long life came out of the crater, let's say. Right, if that's a real thing, if that's the what happened and all that sort of stuff, I'm sure it didn't take 5 years.
But
sure
no, and
5 years.
Well, I've seen 5-year-old trees before.
Yes,
they do not, and given that this is not like we weren't planting trees that were already grown, which you sometimes do, right? This is like they would have had to have come from nothing, from seeds after the impact. 5 years. And in this movie, there's like full-grown forests. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and then you're into like true like out there science fiction, where it's like, oh, okay, I guess the greater just rapid growth everything. But then I don't think you want to live somewhere where that's going on, because that's probably not good for you either, is it?
That sounds like Annihilation.
Yeah, like it just so unnecessary.
That is kind of what that valley looked like when they got to the valley. It did look a bit like Annihilation. It was a bit too bright and too like. You know, too lush.
Yes, definitely.
The other thing that was quite funny is that in the first one, there's a big plot thing is the fact that the kid has got diabetes and he needs his drugs and all that sort of stuff. And
they mention it at the start of this movie and then just ignore it for the rest of the film.
All they do is go make sure when they're evacuating,
make sure you get your meds.
Make sure you get your meds, and then that's never mentioned again.
No, it's never ever mentioned again. Which I assumed was going to be a plot point that he would be running low on.
Well, honestly, I thought by the time they get there, I thought he'd be dead.
Yeah. Just.
I mean, Gerard Butler and Morena Baccarin are
they're great.
Are doing their best. They're
absolutely.
You know, they haven't really got a lot to work with.
No.
There were some nice scenes with them. There were lovely sort of family moments, which was
as stupid
the first one.
Yeah, and like as stupid as the Alzheimer's place is, like there's a lovely scene in there as well. Yeah. There's some lovely bits if you take them out of context of the rest of the ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a shame.
Really, yeah.
I 100% recommend Greenland. If you want end of the world disaster movie, it's one of the best that I've seen. Ignore this sequel.
The one that made me chuckle actually is when they showed a picture of the strike zones on America.
Yeah.
And I did think it was quite funny. It was like, well, we've got California and we've got Florida. It's like, wow. It feels like they strategically picked which states that they didn't like.
Sure, yeah.
Get rid of. I can't recommend this at all. It's
especially not because the first movie was succeeded so well for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I cannot recommend a film that just shits on it.
I'd recommend the first one, and I would say ignore this. It's
so yeah, I had to check this just to be sure that I wasn't going insane. So on Wikipedia,
we loved that first movie.
Oh no, I know I did. Yeah. No, I'm reading Wikipedia about Greenland migration, right? And specifically because I wanted to check because they travel the fucking globe in this movie in seconds, so it's hard to keep up. But it does say they continue toward the impact crater in southern France.
Yeah.
The impact crater is in southern France, and I am not kidding you. The buildings in France kind of look fine. A lot of them. Like it's like what? How? Yeah. How is any of this still standing? Let alone the fact that you said the whole Earth would be scorched and no one would be alive. Like, how is the building still around? How is everything still here? Like just bizarre, especially that close to the impact crater. Also,
there was the idea that when they get to Liverpool and Liverpool's underwater, it's like okay, that
was kind of cool.
That's okay.
It's a cool visual when the buildings were underwater.
Yeah, that was cool. They go through like England, and most of England seems fine.
Oh yeah.
What we see of the rest of England, and then we get to the channel.
Oh god, the easiest. The easiest gradient for a car to ever drive into the channel.
Yeah.
there's like sheer cliff edges all around them, but they just find this nice little slow decline into there. And I'm like,
I know it's supposed to be dramatic, but I did laugh. There was driving along.
Is that a galley?
Is that a galleon?
Oh yeah, it's a galleon. Yeah.
There's
a Spanish galleon over there.
There's a Spanish galleon over there.
Yeah.
And then you see a fucking great dinosaur, and you're like, oh, okay, right,
yeah,
fine, sure. It's okay. It's. I mean, again, it's not the worst fucking one of these movies I've ever seen. I've certainly seen worse, but it's not good.
Dude, if the first movie had been trash, this would have been fine, you know? Mm-hmm. But the first one was actually really, really decent, in my opinion. And this just ruins all of it. I just can't. It almost gaslit me at first into thinking, like, maybe I misremembered the first one. You know, maybe it wasn't a world-ending extinction event, which they led me to believe, but it was.
Maybe the story would have worked if more years had passed.
Yeah, like but then it would have had to have been like his son grown up, and the parents are dead or really old.
You'd have to have a different cast, but
yeah,
at least it would be a sort of. It would feel a little bit more acceptable that people had come back to the surface. People were starting to form groups again. You know, that people were surviving again on the, you know, that would have felt a bit better, and also maybe the crater coming back to life would have felt a little more plausible.
Yeah, if you'd given it decades, yeah, sure.
But to do the sort of whole 5-year thing just
5
felt
years later, yeah,
dumb.
so silly and so unfortunate.
It had quite a nice beginning. I quite liked the.
The opening I was kind of okay with, because they did also, and they also did say at the time that Greenland was going to be the best place post event anyway, right? Which is why they were going there. So that kind of worked for me. And it was very post-apocalyptic, and it was full of lava and stuff, and looking horrible, right? So yeah, cool. But as soon as they got to England, I was like, what? What? I don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was weird. Not a good movie.
No, unfortunately not. I recommend the first one. Don't watch the sequel.
Yeah, watch the first one.
That's where I'm at.
Give this a miss.
Anyway, that is it for the movies. Do you want to talk some news?
Nothing really to talk about. It's all a bit quiet at the moment, to be honest.
It is a bit quiet, isn't it?
There's a lot of stuff with the Odyssey trailer.
Yes, I guess we will see what we will see. I think we've talked before about Nolan and our fears.
Yeah, I'm trying to remain neutral on it, but there's a lot of things that are throwing up alarm bells.
Yeah, it's I'm worried about what gimmick he will pull on this movie. Because that seems to be his thing. He needs like a gimmick for every movie. And for a director so talented and capable, it feels cheap to rely on these gimmicks. So I'm like, oh god, are you just gonna tell it out of order for no reason, or are you gonna do some other stupid shit? You know,
I've heard that is what he's gonna do with it. It's gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, that's gonna be annoying.
Ugh.
We'll see. I'll wait and see on it. I'm not desperate for that, to be honest. Like the one movie I think I'm actually excited for right now is Disclosure Day. I'm looking forward to Disclosure Day. I like this. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess. Like I'll probably end up seeing it in the cinema if people want to go.
Well, the annoying thing is that it should be a movie that we both are really excited for. It's the Odyssey.
Oh, it's right up my street on paper.
One of the coolest stories ever.
100%.
I grew up as a kid loving Odysseus or Ulysses, whichever version, and the pure classic hero stuff. That's right up my street, But this, every time I sort of see another thing for this, it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
It's. I don't. There are certain things in the trailer that people are having problems that I don't have. I don't have a problem with the giants. I thought the giants were fine.
No.
Some of the Cyclops thing looked fine.
I don't actually have that much of a problem with any of the trailer. It's just my fears of Chris Nolan doing some silly gimmick.
The dialogue was pretty fucking ropey.
Sure, yeah.
The daddy thing was a bit I just don't. It just doesn't sound right. And I know people are saying, "Oh, they're just using mod." It's like, yeah, but they don't have to.
They don't have to. And while we're on that point, I would have loved it. I think I said this before, but I would have loved it if they actually used armor from the period as well, and actually really went, let's go full on as if like it happened during this period, and that would be really cool because we've never seen that, or I've never seen that on film.
No, we haven't. But I don't have so much of a problem with the armor so much because it is a mythical story, so I don't.
It is, and it's not the end of the world. I just think that would be interesting to me because it would be like, okay, cool,
Yeah, I'm trying to remain sort of neutral on it, but he's not. Nolan's not making it fucking easy. It's
Yeah, I'm just worried there's going to be some. Yeah, I was more worried about the Nolan gimmick. That all of his movies need now. I just don't need that. It doesn't need black and white scenes, and it doesn't need to be told out of order, and it doesn't need,
No.
We shall see. I will wait and see what happens with it. But yeah, interesting to say the least. Is that
that's kind of it. Yeah.
Wow, it was a slow news couple of weeks, I guess.
Yeah, there's been nothing really grabbing my attention, really.
No? Well, there we go. There we have it.
I've been hearing that the Sheep Detective is very good.
It looked quite charming, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer looked charming. Also, I am weirdly getting kind of excited to watch Mortal Kombat 2. It looks like a lot of fun. It does look like a lot of fun, and I'm kind of like, yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Disclosure Day coming out pretty soon. It's not it's a couple of weeks away.
Yeah.
10th of June, I think, or something like that. And I'm really looking forward to that. Spielberg going back to Aliens, and he does it well.
Yep. Yeah, it could be good. It could. It's got potential.
Batman 2 is now way into production. We're getting stills from the movie and stuff so I guess that is it was one of those movies that they've been talking about for so long and not doing for so long.
I honestly don't think it would ever happen.
Well, yeah, and I don't think me too, and I don't think I'd realized that they were actually filming it. And then suddenly it was like, oh no, you are filming it. There are actual stills from the set. Okay, cool.
I get the impression that if Superman had been successful,
they wouldn't have made it. Maybe
I think they would have buried it.
You might,
but because I think this gun universe isn't doing terribly well. Yeah. It feels to me like they just went, oh fuck it, let's just do that because we don't know what we're fucking doing.
Yeah, and I mean also there is that, like, same with Marvel, and I'm sure the Batman 2 will be fine. There is always that thing in the back of my head of, like, even if they make a bad movie, at least they secure the rights for a bit longer. Need to keep those movies coming.
Yeah. I mean, there was stuff I liked about the Batman. I did enjoy it.
There was a lot I liked about it, and there was a lot that annoyed me. I thought it was quite a flawed movie.
Yeah, and I can't say I'm really looking forward to seeing another one.
I am, from the perspective of I feel like there's room for them to really improve on things and make a really decent movie.
Mm-hmm. That I'll give you.
So I'm kind of hoping they do that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of quote unquote realistic Batman.
No.
I think it's a stupid idea. So
no.
We'll see. I was just surprised that it was in production.
It does it does make me happier that it's not in the gun universe, which is,
well, that's
it gets points for that, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean that does.
There's no there's no hype for Supergirl, is there?
Not for me.
I've not heard anybody saying they're looking forward to seeing Supergirl.
Well, not after Superman, no.
No. So it's...
And especially not when you took one of the things that I hated the most in Superman and brought it over to Supergirl.
It up.
Like, oh god, you brought the dog. Like, the dog was so annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I guess we will see. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But in any case, I guess if that is everything, we will be back next week. And what are we watching, Matt?
We are watching Winchester 73.
Yeah, we're back to a Western. So until then, stay safe, take care, and we will catch you next time.